In previous video, we have already discussed how to define the materialistic properties and section properties under define menu, and we have seen how to save the file and autosave options under the options menu. So let us apply the beams and column cross section on the screen now. So in order to apply the beams and columns, simply we can go for draw option. So draw option under menu bar, and we are going to get the options like draw beam, column or brace objects. Okay. So here there are certain sub options under this like draw beam or column, draw beam, quick draw beams or columns, and quick draw columns, quick draw secondary beams, etc. Okay. Now let us see how to assign the beams first by using the draw beam or column option. Okay. So the same symbol can be seen here at the third option, draw beam or column. Okay. So if I am just picking up this tool, we have to define the first point and the second point for the beam. Okay. So now I have drawn one beam, and this beam has been assigned to only for the last floor. Since we are in the story 4 and we have drawn this beam, so it has been applied for the story 4 only, because at the options we are only having the one story option here. Okay. So if you want to assign beam for all the floors, then just go for one story option here, and you can select the all stories or similar stories. If you want to give for only like similar stories, you can select the similar stories here. Just go for this option. And if I just want to draw the beam again, just select the draw beam, define the first point and second point again, and you can observe that we got the beams in the similar floors. Okay. If you want to define for all the stories, just go for all stories and define the first point and second point again. So just go for escape key and adjust for this and select the all beams option, and you can draw a beam like this, and you are going to get the beam for all the floors. Okay. Since we have defined the grids already, we are going to get the beams on defined grids like this. This is the 3D grids and this is the 2D grids. Okay. So let us go for similar stories here, and now I want to define the beams for all the floors. So I have kept the similar stories. Let me delete this and we can do the beams again. So just I'm going to delete the existing beams, select, and you can go for delete key on your keyboard. Now I'm just going for draw beam. So one method is we can just draw by defining the 2 points. Next method is quick draw beams or columns. So if you are using this option, simply we need to pick the lines where we need to assign the beams. Otherwise, you can just select as a whole, just click on the screen and drag it to the related points over there or related lines over there, and just you are going to get the beams like this. Okay. So I'm just going to select these 2 rows first, and I'm going to define these lines in the y direction. So simply you can click or drag to select all the lines on the screen. Okay. In this way I have assigned the beams. Similar way we can assign the columns also. You can just go for the quick columns here, quick draw columns, or under draw menu or draw option under the menu bar, you can go for draw beam or columns, and you can go for quick draw columns and just define the columns wherever you need. So in wherever you need, you are going to click on the point. Okay. But in these 2 cases, I have shown you how to draw the beams and columns. If you want to define the required column cross section or beam cross section, then we have to define the member over here. Okay. So we are going to get the options at the bottom left. So we are going to get the properties of object, and you have to select the property here. Okay. So let us delete this all the existing beams and columns here. So just select and delete. If I want to draw the quick draw beams, to draw the beams, I have selected the quick draw beams option here, and under property I am just going to select the beam 1 option here. Okay. So just you need to assign for all the beams, all the horizontal and vertical beams. So I have selected like this. Okay. I am taking the same cross section for external beams as well as internal beams here. Okay. Similar way, if you want to assign the columns, just select the quick draw columns either under this selection options, or you can go for the draw, and you can just go for draw beam or column options, and you can select the quick draw columns. And here under the property name, you have to select the column 1 which we have assigned earlier. Just select that one and you can just highlight like this. Okay. Now you can see that we have got the columns and beams for the 3D structure. Click on this 3D window, and if you want to see these lines, or else if you want to convert these lines into a solid figure, then you are going to have the option here, extrude view toggle. Okay, so simply click on that and we can see the transparent 3D solid structure in the 3D view window. Okay, in this way we can assign the beams and columns with the created materials and the cross sections which we have defined earlier. So in the next video I am going to discuss about a beam with point load, how to assign the point load, etc.